I'm Megan Clark here with the first ever Golden Bachelorette, Joan Vassos, and her new fiance, Chuck Chappell. Thank you both so much for being with us here on 7 News. And we have to say, on behalf of the whole DMV, congratulations. How are you two feeling?
Thank you.
Oh, great.
So great. Finally out.
Finally, can we see Joan? Because I remember asking, we got to speak midway through your journey. Can we finally see that beautiful bling? Can we show that off now? There it is. Oh, it suits you, Joan.
Finally able to wear it.
Finally, publicly, 4-carat Neil Lane, custom. Talk about that for us, you two. What has it been like being public finally and being a couple out proud for the first time?
It is a great feeling, and it was about 3 months that we really had to hide. We had these happy couple retreats where we'd come to LA for about 4 days, and Joan and I got to spend a great amount of time together. We did 5 of those, but we had the final rose the other night, and then afterwards we had this just incredible party with family and friends, and that was our big coming out party. Last night we had dinner with some friends. We're going to New York. We're going to spend some time there, and I'm actually coming back to D.C., Maryland next week, and I have a brother that lives there, so you'll be seeing a little bit of me there.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have some family connection to the area. That is absolutely fantastic, because that's our big question. Joan, you and I talked about integrating lives. What is the living situation going to be here? Are we thinking Maryland area? Are we thinking Kansas? Chalk, where you're from, Kansas?
We're gonna be kind of all over. We're gonna do little Kansas, little Maryland, and a little New York. So we you know, Chuck still has a business in Kansas and tons of friends there. So I'm looking forward to spending a little bit of time there. He's going to come to Maryland, you know, meet my friends and family, and we'll probably do that for a little while. I don't think we've figured out exactly where we're going to end up. His kids have moved to the East Coast, though, so thinking maybe he's looking east, I'm hoping. And we're going to spend some time in New York City. We're actually going this week. We're actually leaving tonight to go to New York. And on Monday, we're meeting with a realtor, and we're going to get a little place there to be like our little, you know, our little rendezvous place.
So that's going to be kind of like a meeting base for you. You're going to keep your residences, keep your homes where they are, everything exists there, and then have that spot in New York. Any specific reason for New York?
Well, in the fantasy suites, this is the off-camera time, and it's really the only time I had to spend with Joan that it was off-camera. And we were talking about our dreams, aspirations, what do we want to do with the rest of our lives? And she mentioned, she goes, I've just always loved New York. I had an opportunity when I was younger to move there. And everybody, you know, goes, I want to try it for 2 years. And she goes, it just didn't work out. I think that's when you met John.
I met John,
and started that relationship. And as a business person, every person wants to go to New York, you know, the financial capital of the world. And I go, you know, I've always wanted to do that. I still have a business. I can't move there full time, but I thought, great, let's get a place. We'll meet on weekends. We'll have our friends, family come visit us, and we're just going to have a ball. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we love the energy of the city. And I've always loved that. And so we want to be like right downtown where all the action is, just walk out, have restaurants, have theater. You know, we're lucky, you know, we finally are at a time in our life where we don't have to, we're not stuck to a place. So we have, you know, the option to go to Kansas, to be in Maryland, to be in New York, and not have to worry about getting the kids to school, or, you know, we don't have a ton of, you know, responsibilities at home anymore. And, you know, you finally at a point in your life where you have the resources to do this kind of stuff. So very lucky.
And we are so happy for you, lucky, and you came through this journey, family and friends. So this means folks in Rockville might spot you two out and about, get to say hi. How has it been for you integrating each other into your lives and meeting family and meeting friends and kind of broadening those spheres?
It's been incredibly easy. And I think that's part of when you start a relationship and you think about the compatibility, and Joan had said, she goes, it's not just about the man, it's the man and his family. And Joan was very upfront, even before starting this, that her family was so important. And my kids are my life. And it's gone very well. The kids all know each other. They talk. I spoke with their kids the first week. I actually met a couple of them in Bora Bora. And then they talk with my brothers, met with them, who lives in D.C., the D.C. area. And so we're integrated. There's 2 daughters. They're going to be trouble.
3.
Well, there's 2 daughters. There's specifically Allie and my daughter Taylor that they like dirty martinis and shopping. So it's going to be a problem.
That is a lethal combination, actually, that putting those two things together. Now, hopefully, as you two keep spending time and going on your public dinner dates, your engagement party was so sweet, maybe a bowling date in there. I know, Chalk, this one people said, you hugged her, you hugged Joan. But was that maybe a pivotal moment for you two where you kind of realized, oh my gosh, he's the one, she's the one? Or was there another moment where the chemistry just lit up?
Well, I do have a couple things to say about that. And Jordan is a very good friend of mine, and I really love the guy. He was one of my brothers on the show. And Jordan said, you know, you need to slow down a little bit, guy. If I was half as good looking as Jordan, I wouldn't have had to hog this lady. So Jordan's got this unique personality, so I had to throw it all out there. But Jordan's a great guy. But the bowling was one of the times, the Disneyland, we really connected there. But the bowling, for the guys, what I think was difficult, Jonathan related to this, was that alluded to it, was the first time they saw the connection that Joan and I had in a public venue. And I think that was a little tough for the guys. I don't want to speak for them, but it was tough because we were just so naturally drawn to each other that event. And then we had a great conversation after the bowling was done. So that was really the time that it was public with the other guys. But Joan had to be very respectful to them, and she still had the process to go through.
Absolutely. I mean, Joan, that was something you and I talked about, your journey, you know, your emotional development, processing your late husband, that relationship. Chalk also has a similar story. And then you two even bonded on the show. Chalk, the passing of your mother?
Yes. And, you know, my mother was stage 4 for 4 years. We knew it was coming. I was very fortunate to spend some time with her right before the show started filming. And it's actually, you know, it was shown on the show that she goes, I want you to go on the show. So when she passed, we had taken care of most of the, you know, the things you needed to take care of. And when she passed, I didn't know what I was going to go do. And the show was great because they came to me and they said, you know, do what you need to do. We want you to go. You make the decision. And if you can't come back, we fully understand. So I talked to Joan, and Joan says, you're going to go. And what it was to see my brother and then my stepdad. After a couple of days there, George looked at me and he said, you know, do you really care for this person? I said, absolutely. He goes, I want you to go back. So this wouldn't have happened if it wouldn't have been for my stepdad, George, saying, go back. And, you know, it's a tough decision, and it's tough to make the right. You just don't know if it's the right or the wrong decision. I'm so glad it happened, but I had a family member supporting me that really made this all work out.
Thank you both so much. We have about 2 more questions. I'll make them quick. This one is, you've come out the other side. You're in a beautiful place. What advice would you give to your past selves now that you've seen just how good it can get?
Oh, wow. I think for me, it'd be like, don't be so scared. And like, what's the worst that can happen? And if you don't take the leap of faith, you'll never find out. So be brave and go out and do stuff to, you know, get what you want out of life.
Okay, this question is big. Wedding, you two, you got the ring, you're here. Is this gonna be, I know the fans are thinking, is this a TV wedding? Are we doing something intimate? What are we thinking?
We are kind of still talking about it. I think my initial thought was, oh, I just want to, you know, we've been in the limelight for so long and it's just nice to be a couple. So I was thinking something smaller and like just with family and friends. But now that I've like kind of thought about it a little more, I love like the message of hope from this whole journey, and that, you know, a lot of people watched and like became more hopeful for their future. So like to cut the story off before you actually see the ending, which is us actually getting married, I think is, you know, not the right thing to do. So I think that there is a chance it might be, you know, a televised wedding.
We cannot wait for that. I wish you both all the happiness. Joan Vassos, Chalk Chapel, thank you for taking the time to speak with us in the middle of your journey, Joan, and now here at the end of it with just a beautiful ending. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Nice talking to you, Megan.
Take care, you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.